So here's the scoop. Essentially, I was watching this YouTube video the other day about bookstores. Scripted, hosted, shot by the same guy who films Catfish, which I'm sure you guys know Catfish, right? It's that TV show where people are all like, I'm in love. And you're all like, cool, when'd you meet him? And they're all like, I've never met him. I know she's great though. And then turns out that she is a he, and then like, dreams are broken. Catfish. So essentially in this YouTube video about bookstores, these guys were talking and they're all like, you know, if you read one book for the rest of your life, and say maybe you're my age, 25, and you plan on living till, 90, that gives you about like 65 more books that you'll ever get to read in your entire life. That's only a shelf's worth of books, right? That's like this many books. But anywho, so I was super curious about how many books I've read in the course of this year. Luckily, one of my YouTube subscribers is a top-notch listener and a top-notch transcriber, and they had written out a whole list of books that I had ever mentioned on my YouTube videos. And it averaged out to me reading about 11 books per year. If I live till 90, I get 715 books. Which still does not seem like that many. But anyway, so the YouTube video was talking about how the difference between a basic book reader, somebody who reads one book a year, and an avid reader, somebody who over the course of their lifetime will read maybe 1,000 books at least, is just 30 minutes a day. I mean, guys, I'm no expert, but 30 minutes a day? That's like commercial break during Bachelor in Paradise. Right? But yeah, no, so I'm not super regimented about reading either. Like for me, I'll get really bored of reading and then for a month I won't do anything, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, 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 3 books down in 1 week. Yeah, that's the way I do. This is how we do it. Oh my god, this video is all over the place. But anywho, this is about to turn into a book review right about now. Don't worry, it'll be quick and dirty. Just like most of the times I clean my kitchen. It's very accurate. So this book that I read is called Does It Matter by Alan Watts, and it essentially talks about the value of things versus the symbolic value of some things. So food has real value, money has symbolic value. We get those confused. And then from that book I was so amped on reading that I moved into 2 other philosophy books. Essentially, The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus and Beyond Good and Evil by Nietzsche. So this book is essentially about like, once you contemplate life and how absurd it is suicide the answer? I stopped reading after page 9. And this book, I really don't know what it's about because, to be honest, reading Nietzsche is like knocking a hammer into your head 100 times. On every page. When I talk about sometimes books taking it out of you and getting so tired of them you don't want to read for about a month, that's what Nietzsche did to me. And then finally, I saved myself with this book called The Girl Who Played with Fire. The funny thing about that book is it's actually the second book in a trilogy. I didn't read the first. And that book's super cool because it's basically about this like badass chick who has problems with authority and solves crimes through technology, where she's the suspect. Dun dun dun. But yeah, no, that book basically kicked my butt back into reading, got me motivated again. And that's why I kind of say when you're reading books, if you need a strategy, my favorite is always just like, find the book that, like, where it motivates you. I feel like everybody after this video is gonna say like, yeah, I got a Tony Robbins book because she told me to get something motivational. Yeah, not necessarily what I'm saying, but that would probably be a good book. But yeah, no, this has been the most random video ever. You could say that this story has no moral, no plot, and no interesting characters.